Hey, Aussie. Good to see ya. There's a bunch of fox squirrels over here just a second ago. There must have been half a dozen of them. Just got done with therapy. Hello, cut the cord. How are ya? Only get on here about once a week. Last week I finished up over here at the shelter, a rustic oak lodge, like a rustic oak shelter, I guess is what they call it. So, hey Bill, how's it going? P&J, hello, all the usual suspects. I would come over here and check some of this out. A little windy out here. Hello, Dottie. Oh, there's the shelter. It's got electricity, fireplaces. Did a video on this. We'll go inside and look around. Hello, Arlene. How well all this will show up. It's kind of dark in here. There we go. See some of the masonry work they've done. Fireplace on each. The way we came in. Another fireplace. Then on the back side of each one of these fireplaces, these were their cook stations, so the chimney's functional from both sides. There used to be grates that would go into these that you could cook on. When I was a kid, the grates were still here, but not anymore. You run into them, and there's some more side. Here's the other end of the shelter. It's just like the other end. They really should do something with the roofs on these. They're got the old cedar shake, and there's a lot of moss and things growing on them. Everybody's chit-chatting back and forth. They got any questions? It's all done by the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 30s. Yep, thanks for that. P&J, don't forget the thumbs up. Everybody's having a good start to the week, I hope. Walk around the outside on the back a little bit here. Restrooms, drinking fountain. No, P&J, this isn't. That bridge would be on the opposite end of the lake, so basically in the direction that I'm pointing right now, through the tree line and around the curve of the outlet of the lake, that's where it would be. I'm pretty central to the middle of the park right now. A bunch of squirrels up here playing tag. Probably can't see those. Yep, no snow. They been threatening us with it, but haven't had any yet. It don't take long, about a day, maybe 2 at most, and it can all be gone. The ground's still frozen though. It's hard. Not officially spring yet, Aussie. Got a little bit of time yet. Today is actually my brother's birthday, so it's about the only thing noteworthy about today, not spring. Some old playground equipment. You guys ever remember the hot metal slides with shorts on as a kid? That's old holdover of that over here. Those will burn you right up sliding down them. Yep, hopefully I'll talk to him later today, Aussie. Don't talk a lot, but do try to get a hold of him on his birthday. So oh wow, that's quite a bit of snow, P&J. Lucky you. Wish we had it. Yeah, I think about the only thing that they have officially gotten rid of here is the merry-go-rounds. I think about how many kids lost teeth over that, and seesaws or teeter-totters, as they used to be called. I think those are all gone too. Here's another grilling station. There used to be a whole bunch of these throughout the park. Some of them are a lot smaller. This one's probably one of the largest ones. You bring your own charcoal and fire it up. Yeah, most playgrounds are all plastic and padded, and no risk, no reward. Hey Matt, how's it going? Those slides definitely will get hot. You could roast hot dogs on those things. This really is a nice park. Spent a lot of time here as a kid camping. Yeah, I'll see. Do you remember there's well, here anyways, there was a crash test dummies. I think that kind of sums up our generation. Heading over to the bison pen. Rear will fire tower there in the distance. This is pretty much a central part of the park. The temp here was, I think, 38 before I left for my appointment. So it's not the peak potential. I'm guessing maybe 40 for the high today. It's pretty breezy, so kind of chilly, but definitely not cold. Well, thanks for joining in, Matt. Appreciate it. Yeah, Bill, a lot of times I had a cousin that used to live in Soldotna. I used to follow their weather quite a bit, and a lot of times we were colder than what they were. We don't get near the snow you guys get, but a lot of times the temperatures are comparable. A lot of birds out today, squirrels. Yeah, watch your fingers, Matt. Make sure you wear gloves. They always tell you at work, wear gloves and eye protection. That'll save you. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Bill. It's good to see you. Appreciate it. Yep, a little bit of a walkabout. Get you a shot of the bison today, as I normally do in my live streams, just to see what they're up to. You ever wonder about your teachers as a kid and said you never amount to much? Here I am walking, talking, and filming all at the same time. Yep, I do like this park. Through the week, it's great. There's people out, but it's not real crowded. That'll change here come Memorial Day. This place will be running over. You won't be able to find a spot to camp. They have everything reserved a month in advance. It's really hard to get in here. Yeah, a little multitasking. Almost to the bison. It's about a mile around this enclosure. We really have this ground all plowed up with our hooves. Thanks for stopping in, Matt. Appreciate it. Yep, we'll see if we can get a shot of Sassy there for you, Dottie. She might even run over to the fence and greet us sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes they run over, see what I'm up to. Looks like they got some fresh hay. That usually occupies them, though. Yeah, Grandpa, the old man, he's facing us right now. Over here to the gate where there's not as much fencing up. A little bit better for filming. Zoom in for you. Thanks for dropping links, P&J. Appreciate it. I have a feeling they're pretty content to be right where they're at. Most of the ice is gone off all the water around here. The big lake, there's still a little bit of ice left, but it's probably 3/4 of it's open water now. And this pond here in the background, it's all open water. But it's not a very big pond at all. Anybody got any questions about anything or anything to share? P&J said they got some snow. Imagine your temperatures are probably in the 20 or 30s right now. Have a time change coming up here pretty soon too. That'll throw us back in the darkness again. Do not look forward to that at all. Back to 30 today. The 30s aren't a bad temperature at all, especially if there's no wind. That wind's what really gets you. Yeah, the dreaded time change. Wish they'd just leave it alone. Leaves are starting to drop. Yeah, ours are starting to bud out. That's the problem here. As sap starts flowing and everything wants to bud out. If it buds out too soon, then we'll have a cold snap and freeze everything. And it'll stunt the trees. Hey Gary, how's it going? Skinning a wolverine. That'd be pretty cool. Too bad of YouTube and all their standards. Hey Gary, you won't be able to answer much listening. Well, I was going to ask you about whether you put them on boards or wires or how you stretch those. I was just curious. Don't have to show it in video on your part, but I'd be something you could show us how you put them up without actually showing it. Yeah, Dottie, I'm pretty basic and simple with a lot of things. I don't the animals don't change their clocks. It's kind of the way I look at it. See, the bison are having a little bit of a disagreement there. It's funny, those big bulls, they'll lay right in the middle of the pile. Hello, Cordless. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. It's starting to rain right now. Split board? Okay. I knew they do that a lot with coyotes here. It's that adjustable spreading board at the bottom. Pin it in place so the air goes up through the center. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah. Hope everybody's doing all right. It's kind of a little bit more like sleet, I guess. Maybe it's still, yep, it's a little like sleet right now. Not very much. Don't worry, I won't melt. School trip today. Well, that's better than being trapped inside four walls with a bunch of teachers and kids you can't stand. At least you get change of scenery. Well, be careful on your big trip there, Aussie. Thanks for stopping in. Kind of pushing each other around there a little bit. The bison. Cut the cord. You guys probably got some good content coming out with the new property. Everybody here is probably pretty familiar with each other, but if you haven't checked out Cut the Cord and what they got going on, you got a new property just north of Talkeetna there along the tracks. Have to go over there and check them out. Thanks, Aussie. Appreciate you stopping in. Thanks for dropping their link. P&J, appreciate that. Yeah, over here to these two together, pretty sure I know that's the calf on the left, and the one on the right, I'm pretty sure that's the one I call Sassy. And there's one laying down here, and one standing up in the background. Those are the two dominant bulls. And the one there to the right, farthest to the right, just stepping ahead right there, that's Grandpa, the old one. And the other three, well, the other two in the middle of the frame there, those are some of the cows. All right, Aussie, I appreciate that. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on here. We'll just hate to occupy your time. Just to be hanging out with the bison. Yeah, I wish they'd come over here a little bit closer for you, Dottie, so you could see them a little bit closer. Like I say, they're kind of preoccupied with that hay right now. Anybody else got any fun projects coming up? P&J, you got anything going on? That was a kind of interesting video you had on those mice. Didn't expect to see baby mice in the middle of the snow like that. Yeah, free food. I know sometimes they give them, I'm not sure what they are. It's like a cube. I know they give them to cattle and stuff. They're a compressed cube that's probably got some kind of molasses or something in them. Seen them give those to them before. Making yogurt. Be interesting. Guessing that's similar to the kefir. It's just a little bit different process. Yeah, we'll just say I planned it that way, P&J. I plan nothing, absolutely nothing. Does me no good to plan anything. Everybody else dictates my schedule, so I just react to it. Thick goat cheese. Well, do we have any volunteers to milk the bison? Wonder how that would be. Guessing that'd have kind of a strong taste to it. Kind of like your goats. It's a little bit stronger. Be a heck of a lot braver than I am to do that. Yeah, the only stuff I've ever kept's chickens and rabbits. I only had probably a dozen and a half chickens is the most I've ever had. Rabbits is a different story. I had 84 rabbits at one time. They were all had papers and all that. Sold them to 4-H fair and things like that. Yep. And the funny thing was the ones that were inside, I had more colds and things like that. If they were outside, as long as they didn't get the wind blowing on them, they're the much healthier rabbits. But I raised mini lops, and I raised the name escapes me at the moment. Chinchilla. Chinchilla was a breed. Yep, as the saying goes, it don't take long to get a lot of rabbits when they're rabbits. Sometimes they'd have pretty good sized litters. They have 6 wasn't uncommon at all. Sometimes more than that. But most rabbits have trouble with more than 6 to maintain them. But I had one of the does. She's a really good mother. About every time she had a litter, she'd have one of every color. And rabbits are so easy. Oh, we'll do a little bit more walking. Yep, there's a lot of different varieties. It's kind of like chickens. Depending on what you want to breed for, you can get different breeds that are better. Some of them grow faster. Then you get into the minis. Those are just dwarfs. They're not meat rabbits by any stretch of the imagination. They're pretty small. Hope I'm not bouncing you around too much while walking. If I've seen any deer today, no, it's pretty uncommon to see them here in the park anymore. They're here. I mean, they're everywhere, but not like when I was a kid. When I was a kid, well, they used to be even in this enclosure, but every time you turned a corner on a trail or on a road, there seemed to be deer there. But now, their population's about like what it is outside of the park. This park was, the deer figured out that it was a safe haven and they'd all stay within the park. They'd hardly ever leave. Everything they needed was right here. but they were damaging all the vegetation, so they opened up a couple of hunts inside of the park for a few years, just a half dozen years, and pretty much thinned them all out. The other day I saw, it was probably 5 or 6 of them on my way out of the park. So they were just at the border of the park, the entrance. But it's really hard to get them on camera, at least the time of day and everything that I'm here normally. It's kind of late in the day for me to be here. Normally I'm here around midday, not early afternoon. The deer pretty much stay off the trails too. It's kind of interesting. When the snow was on, you don't see a lot of deer tracks on the trails, but you see a lot of deer trails cutting, across the trails and things like that. So they don't use them a lot. Got a couple of Canadian geese over here taking advantage of the pond. I'll snake you through the fence here real quick. There they are. Very relaxing walk along. Yep, that's one of the reasons I'm out here. Before I actually started therapy after my surgery, I didn't tell me I couldn't walk, and I got tired of being at home, so I started coming to the park every day and just walking. Every day's a little different. I try to come to the bison every day and hang out with them for a little while. But then there's some days where I walk quite a bit. If I don't feel like I walked enough, I'll walk later in the evening too. So just depends on what I got going on for the day. They've got benches everywhere. Yep, getting my steps in. I walk quite a bit at work sometimes, back and forth across the plant, going to get parts, where my toolbox is. Hey Lynn, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate it. Just got done looking at the bison. Yeah, Arlene, I tell my mom all the time, if you quit moving, you die. So figured I better practice what I preach and get out of the house and start moving. Well, I'm glad to have you in here too, Dottie. Just trying to get caught up on the chat. It's hard to watch the screen and walk. Yeah, thanks for dropping links, P&J. Appreciate that. All the trails here very well maintained and marked very well. Here's one of our trail markers right here. Like I say, Trail 5 is the largest trail in the park. Not all of them have a lot of stone on them. This is probably the most well maintained out of all of them, just because there's so much foot traffic to see the bison. Yeah, sorry for all the notifications popping up. I'm on my phone, so the temperature has really dropped in the last 10 minutes. Yeah, Arlene, sometimes you just got to get out and move no matter what. There's a little warning sign for you. Here's your sign. Yeah, Lynn, we're roughly about that same temperature. I think it was, I can't remember if it's 36 or 38 before my appointment. But the last 10 minutes, it's definitely dropped. Thought it was trying to sleet on me too, so that little freezing rain pellets. A lot of birds in the park and different tree types. Those tall pines that I had in that short that I think it came out today. We have pine trees, but most of them don't get as tall as what they are here in the park. I got another one. I think it's supposed to drop later in the week that's on pines as well. Thanks, B&J. Yeah, I try to do a variety of things. I don't get a lot of views on the infrastructure, little bridge and shelters and things like that, but the fire tower, I seem to get a lot of views on those. Well, Arlene, there's no bad weather, just bad clothes. I get it though. It's easier when it's warmer out. You don't need that extra little kick of motivation for some people, but I like the cool weather. If it gets to be 80 degrees, that's where I start to struggle. The cold don't bother me. Thanks for dropping that link on the tall pines. Appreciate that. Yeah, that fire tower is pretty unique. There are still some that are supposedly still up in the southern part of the state, according to the plaque at the base of the tower, but I have not seen any myself. Yeah, that wind is hard on you. It cuts right through you. Can make quite the difference. Oh, really? That's interesting about the towers there. So you have them in New York as well, but they're not as tall. And then Lynn said that Daryl mentioned that they have them, but they're way off the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I know according to this plaque, there's different entities that put them out, and one of them was the National Forest Service, so I'm guessing at one time all the states probably had them. Probably had to do with the different terrain and things like that. Alaska kind of surprises me though. Coming up on a tree that you might recognize from the videos, the shorts. Those woodpeckers just go crazy. All right, Dottie, thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. There's all the chips at the bottom of the tree. They go way down inside. Didn't show any of that in the video before. Makes smaller holes lower in the tree. Yep, everything's got to eat. Well, guys, I've been on here almost an hour, so 51 minutes. So I think I'm going to call it good. Wasn't really prepared for that temperature drop. My hands getting cold. Don't have any gloves. Not bad weather, just bad clothes. And I got bad clothes. So we'll head back to the shelter where I started this. And we'll wrap it up over there. Yeah. Figure since I won't stand in front of the camera, at least I can kind of show you a live look where I get some of my footage. Yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in. One of my surprise pop-up lives. Not much of a surprise anymore. Been doing it about once a week, so we'll see how well I keep up with that, especially if I get back to work. I'm sure my video quantity will be going down if that happens. Yep, pop-ups are fun. They're pretty easy to do too. All right, take care everybody.